inside the hunt for the mysterious money pit on Oak Island. For more than 200 years, treasure hunters have flocked to Oak Island in search of pirate gold, believed to be buried in the money pit on the Nova Scotia island. Hundreds of years ago, as the story goes, someone buried treasure on Oak Island. This story has since spread more widely. However, no one is sure what is contained in the mysterious money pit, which is said to contain treasure. Could it be the priceless original manuscripts of Shakespeare's works? Or the Holy Grail and a ton of gold? Many people think it's just a fictional story, but there are still people who want to hunt for treasure and set out to find the money pit to change their lives. However, pursuing a valuable treasure also entails many risks. To date, at least 6 people have died in their efforts to find the mysterious money pit. This has brought many rumors that Oak Island may have more than just treasure, possibly a pirate's curse. How did the treasure searches begin? 200 meters south of Canada's Nova Scotia coast, there are over 300 scattered islands, but only one of these contains many mysteries that have yet to be solved. That is Oak Island, an area of only 0.5 kilometers, covered with green trees, rising 11 meters above the water. According to legend, the treasure of pirates is buried and contains a terrible curse. The search for Oak Island's treasure began around 1795. A 16-year-old boy named Daniel McGinnis crossed the island on a fishing expedition. The boy noted a few strange things on this island. First, he noticed a few marks on the trunk of the old oak tree. Nearby, he discovered a sunken part of the land. McGinnis put the marks together and analyzed them, suggesting that the marks on the oak tree's trunk could have been from ropes and tow ropes, used to lower something to the ground. After hearing stories about pirates running amok, McGinnis immediately wondered if there were traces of some pirates burying treasure. These theories lured McGinnis and 2 friends back to the island the next day, and they started digging. Immediately, the boys noticed that the shallow clay had cuts, but they couldn't go any further than that. The hole they dug contained flat rocks and logs, and they only had picks and shovels with them. However, McGinnis said he never forgot what he saw on the island. 9 years later, McGinnis returned to the island and continued searching for the treasure again. This time, he and his team made a thrilling discovery, a stone engraved with a strange code. But explorers at that time could not decode these characters. One of McGinnis's associates even used it as a brick in the fireplace. When they tried to dig deeper, they found nothing more than that the hole was filled with water. Ultimately, the project was abandoned. Then, in 1865, treasure seekers took another step forward when a linguistics professor named James Liechti announced he would translate the mysterious stone. According to Mr. Licht, the stone reads, 40 feet, about 12 meters down here, there are 2 million pounds buried. And so, the race for Oak Island's treasure begins. Inside the hunt for the money pit, in the 200 years since Daniel McGinnis first began digging at Oak Island, many others have hoped to find the storied treasure in the money pit. Accordingly, they tried to block the flow of water and drill other parts of the island. However, no one has yet found the treasure in the money pit. Are treasure hunters chasing a bogus legend? Some people will probably deny this view, because over the past 200 years, the island has shown enough clues to keep the rumor alive. Treasure hunters have made thrilling finds such as coins, whistles, pieces of pottery, ashes, scissors, pottery, and parchment in the Oak Island money pit. But searching for treasure on Oak Island is fraught with risks, leading some to theorize the treasure is protected by a pirate's curse. The treasure hunter's first tragedy and death took place before Mr. Liechti published the translation of the code on the rock. In 1861, treasure seekers brought an iron pump and steam engine to the island. They hoped to be able to pump water out of the hole, but the boiler exploded and burned one person in the group to death. That was not the only person who died during the treasure hunt. Later, 5 more people also secretly died on this island. The most recent deaths were in 1965, when 4 men died from hydrogen sulfide fumes while trying to access treasure on Oak Island. This series of deaths has led to the ominous but intriguing prediction that 7 people will have to die before the treasure is found. To date, 6 people have died during the treasure hunt, but the fear of death has not stopped people from hoping to get rich over the years. Oak Island Treasure Theory. It is still unclear whether the Oak Island treasure exists or not. But if it exists, then who buried this treasure there? And what did they leave behind? Over the years, a number of treasure hunters have developed theories. The most prominent theory, first presented in the book Oak Island and the Lost Treasure, is that the treasure came from an English explorer named William Phips. According to this theory, Phips came across a shipwreck in Spain filled with treasure in 1687. He brought some back to England, where it may have been used to overthrow the king, James II, in 1688. But Phips knew that more treasure was needed, and he sailed back to the wreck, picked up more loot, and buried it for safekeeping on an island he knew in Nova Scotia. However, things later did not go as expected. When Phips's men returned to Oak Island to dig for treasure, water suddenly flooded into the hole, preventing them from reaching the treasure. The British government stepped in, but also failed to dig up the spoils. So they set traps in the money pit. Accordingly, this theory is considered convincing by what has been found on the island. Core samples of the island's marshes show human activity that took place between 1674 and 1700, and Oak Island treasure seekers have found bones, wood, and even an axe that appears to have since the 17th century. So, what could be buried on Oak Island? Maybe it was Phips' gold, but perhaps it was something more extraordinary. Other theories about the treasure on Oak Island suggest that the money pit could contain Shakespeare's manuscripts, the Holy Grail, Marie Antoinette's jewelry. To date, the mysteries of the island's money pit oak also has no answer.
Join us as we delve deeper into the Enigma Oak Island, exploring the history, theories, and the latest discoveries of this legendary treasure hunt.